for me, that whole front line was let down because Ronaldo started the game. And as soon as Rafael Leao came on, it created more space for everybody. And I think for me, that's the key element here for me, if that makes sense. Like they literally, soon as he came on, they scored. And Bruno Fernandes, masterful passing in the middle. He was waiting, but he was waiting for the space. I heard Roy Keane say at halftime, if teams are low, then that having a playing a low block, then that's the reason you can't break them down. It's an excuse. And he said, well, it's not an excuse. Just move the ball quicker. It's hard for the midfielders to move the ball quicker when there's a static front three, when no one's running in behind. You need someone on that shoulder pulling defenders out. There was a moment in the first half where Ronaldo dropped deep for the first time, and Bruno ran in, and the ball got crossed in, slightly overhit. He nearly got onto it. You need your striker dropping deep, pulling left, pulling right, running on shoulders, depending on the pattern of play all the time. Leao did that, and it created space for Felix. It created space for Bruno to cook, and they looked better. I genuinely mean this. The best thing that can happen to Portugal this tournament is Ronaldo getting injured. No major injury, doesn't end his career, nothing like that, but just pulling a hamstring and being out for 3 weeks. Portugal will be a better team because the only thing he offered them today was his penalty conversion.
Which was an amazing pen, by the way.
It was an amazing penalty.
Amazing pen. We'll look it out there.
It was an amazing penalty. It was very well taken. But from my standpoint, if Rafael Leao starts instead of him on either one of the flanks, you put João Felix in the middle as kind of a false nine, Bruno running on from deep as an example, that extra bit of pace, that space that would create, Portugal would be a better team. I genuinely think this Portugal team are suffering because of Ronaldo's inability to move now. It's his inability.
Ronaldo is part of it. Ronaldo is part of it. I think Santos is a matter part of it because he's so loyal to the guys that obviously got them the Euros, and I get it. But that was 2016. We're in 2022 now, 6 years on, and you're bringing on William Carvalho as your game changer. You know what I mean? Like before Leao came on, you've got Danilo Pereira at the back. Why? That midfield has, like, Terry, you talk about athleticism, right? With the smaller nations who are technical. Bro, I saw a midfield today that was getting absolutely ran through. They're good on the ball, but when it came through speed, I saw Kudos running through them, Bukhari run through that. Players were running through that midfield, and they need to find a way to fix that. And I think someone with Leao coming on, playing a wider formation, putting Bruno in the center instead of this 4-4-2 diamond they'll start off with, that could literally alleviate that pressure because it will be more on the opposition team, like pressure going that way. This Portugal team is not conducive, in my opinion, to win the World Cup. We'll get them out of the groups, but past that, it's a toss-up. Anything can happen to them in this tournament, and big changes have to be made. And I don't think Santos is the guy to bring that kind of change to Portugal's team. It's just not.
No, and I hear that. And look, a lot of people are disagreeing because, of course, they love Cristiano Ronaldo, but he's got one great asset still. He is a brilliant finisher. If he has the chances on a plate, I still think, as a general rule, he'll put them away. But it's harder for your team to create because he's very static. He can't run and move the channels anymore. There was times tonight where he had the ball in good positions and he can't move his legs and hips quick enough to create the half a yard space to shoot and score anymore. And it will become a problem. And no disrespect to Ghana. This isn't the Ghana of 12 years ago. This isn't the Ghana, Essien's era. When Essien and like we're in there pumping this team. This isn't them. This is a watered down version. They've got some good talent. Of course, Thomas Partey is there. They've got young Lamptey coming through. But when you're starting games with Ayew as your striker, like they're not that good. With all due respect to Ghana, and I mean that respectfully. And this guy couldn't move the needle. He got a penalty that I think was very fortuitous. He does get to the ball first, but it isn't a foul. It's a dive. The fact there's no evidence to overturn it, that's on VAR. If he doesn't get that penalty, Ronaldo does nothing in this game. And for most people, they didn't think it was a penalty. And I don't think it was either. And I know Ronaldo's fanboys, I know his supporters love him and they want to praise him. But he is holding Portugal back in exactly the same way that he's been holding Man United back this year. Scoring goals is the hardest thing in football to do. But you can't isolate it to just, well, if you're good at scoring goals, you should just play. if the overall team pattern and approach to the game is hindered by that said player. You have to get the balance right. And Ronaldo
Yeah,
is going to be a problem for him this tournament. I
just a
guarantee
quick one about on your point as well. The biggest indicator and sign of like people like if you haven't been watching Ronaldo this season and you just watched him at the World Cup, when he was offside and he went one-on-one with the goalkeeper and ended up missing, he didn't even score. That should be your indicator. Like, yeah, this is not Ronaldo. He was so slow in accelerating that, and the finish was poorly timed and poorly executed. It's heartbreaking to see. I don't want to see this no more, Terry. Let it be over because Cristiano Ronaldo should be, in my mind, just always amazing. But I'm seeing the downfall. So yeah, it's not wrong to highlight he's not what he once was, but you also can congratulate him on what he's done in the game. Like the first ever player to score in 5 World Cups is absolutely insane. You know what I mean?
Of
So
course it is, without a shadow of a doubt. And to all the people saying that I'm hating on him, this isn't about hate, it's an honest opinion. Because if you go to my Twitter right now, in fact, I'll put it on the screen for you. Ronaldo is the first man to ever score in 5 World Cups. GOAT. I'm calling the man the GOAT still. This is still the guy that I think is the greatest football player of all time. You know? Muhammad Ali, for many people, was the greatest boxer of all time. But when he was past his best, he has to get out the ring. Mike Tyson was the best. Mike Tyson and Lennox Lewis were the best of their generation. I wouldn't want to see Mike Tyson get in the ring with Tyson Fury now. You know? Damon Hill once won the world championship at Formula One. Do you know how dangerous it would be for Damon Hill to get back into a Formula One car now and race against Lewis Hamilton? You know? When you're past your best, you're past your best. That doesn't mean you're not the great, doesn't mean you're not the GOAT still. What are Ronaldo fans going to say when he retires? Are they still going to say he's the best in the world when he's inactive? I don't really get it.
yes, they say bring him back.
It is what it is, but I just what I saw today. Look, if he was out there and look, if in the next 2 games he's ripping teams apart and looking dangerous, impacting the game, then I'm going to praise him. But on today's performance, it would concern me if I. By the way, I'm not a Portugal fan. So it doesn't bother me, but we'll see. Alex is with us now, all the way from the United States. What are you saying now?
I'm actually coming over here to cook you too, Terry, because I think every Premier League fans thinks that international is played in the same style, same high determination football and all that. It's international. It's not fast game. It's not that. Terry, come on, you grown ass man. You've been watching this for a long time. The problem with Ronaldo is, I agree, he's old. That's not true. But to be surprised that that's how Portugal plays, it's funny. How did they win the Euros? Was that a fast-paced game? No. They played counter, like they did it. Who's the manager? Seriously, how does Santos play? Please tell me, both of you. Does Santos play high press, high intense game?
Cool. So I didn't mention a high intensity, high press game. I mentioned having pace in individual players to be able to move the needle. So what Portugal can't do, and this is about playing the personnel as opposed to the style of play, is they have nobody that can beat a man to get in behind a bank of players or a line of players, whichever.
I agree with you, 100%.
So when people are sitting deep and you're struggling because there's no movement up front to break a line, you're not dragging a defender out of position or a midfielder in a low block out of position. You need someone that's got the ability to take them on, because that takes people out. So you need players that have got literal speed in them, as Ronaldo had for years, to move the needle. Now, my view is I wouldn't start Ronaldo. I would use him at this age as more of an impact player. That's what I would do. But either way, whether you drop Ronaldo from the beginning or start him, you need Leao in this team. You need that blistering raw speed to be able to open teams up with greater ease. That is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about pressing at 100 miles an hour for 90 minutes. I'm talking about being able to beat players.
Why does, for example, I actually tell you the reason why? Because Santos is the one that actually gives the orders. Is he? He's the one that tells when to pass it, how fast we go into the forwards.
What's that got to do with anything?
Well, here's what it has to do with it. They play by directions, Terry. They're not playing because that's how I feel. If Santos tell him, you do this, and then you pass it, that's one thing. But it doesn't look like that.
Are,
It's
are,
been
are-
like
wait,
this.
wait. Are you
For,
saying Santos out? Is that what you're saying? Are you saying Santos
I
is the issue
don't
here?
care about the Portugal
No, but
whatsoever.
are you saying Santos is the issue more than Ronaldo?
Yes, I'll
Okay,
say
okay.
more Santos issue than Ronaldo.
And I can agree with you, but okay, so we're moving up the line a bit. That's fair.
Yeah.
But you still agree with me. Santos is playing Ronaldo, and that's the problem.
No. Santos is playing Ronaldo, not Ronaldo, not Santos playing style, the way Ronaldo looks not right in the team.
But what you're saying is, so when Leao comes on, it isn't because Leao's got speed that he looks quick. It's because the manager lets him use it. Are you saying there's players with speed in this Portugal team that the manager's saying, do not use your speed?
Exactly.
No.
No, Terry, no.
No,
Terry,
Alex,
hold on a second. No, I'm not saying he doesn't
Alex,
say don't use your speed.
Exactly. These
No. Hold on, Terry. Let me correct me.
Alex, let me just say this now, right? Let me just say this now to you. He is not instructing the players to not run past their players quickly. They don't have anybody with blistering speed over that first 5 to 6 yards anymore. Leao has to start. If Leao starts, you will see him doing what he did from the first minute. He's not. No one's instructed not to. It's because
Yes,
they don't have the capability to do it.
I misspoke. Like I said, English is not my first language. What I try to say, if directions of the manager saying don't go into attack immediately, that's the difference.
So I understand where you're coming from, but they were attacking this whole game, Portugal. They just didn't have anybody that can pull a defender and run. With Ronaldo, he doesn't have mobility. He should be what he did in his pomp is he would drop deep, he would pull left, he would pull right. Watch his goals. So many of his goals are him running in from deep. What's the build up to the goal? He would drop deep. Sometimes he wouldn't even receive the ball, but it would drag a defender out because it's Ronaldo. That would allow for a midfield player or an inside forward to run into that space so the ball would get played. That may not result in the end shot, but then the ball would end up out wide. It would get crossed in. Ronaldo's run back in from that deep position, heads it, puts it in. As an example, Ronaldo can't move like that anymore. So unless you're basically laying it up to him in front of the goal, Ronaldo's relatively ineffective. So the only way to play him is to have speed around him. You can't have Ronaldo in the middle with slow players on the athletic sense of the word slow. They'd beat me and you in a race, but you can't have, especially against a team like Ghana that have got a lot of athletic players, you need speed. And it is Santos's problem, not what he instructed them to do, but he picked the
yes,
wrong
that's what I meant. I meant that instructions are different.
I'm with Alex here. Hey, Santos agenda over everything. You know what I'm saying?
I'm serious. It's like, look, for me, I think even if you take Ronaldo out and you put Leao, it will be Felix who will be drawn out. By the way, he's overrated kid. There's no doubt about it. Plays one game in 100, and I don't care, man. You're gonna see one other player will be the same way. Not Ronaldo, but the other player. By the way, when people say like you hating on Ronaldo, it's like when people tell me that I hate on Jorginho, because I already passed that level of trying to explain myself to.
There is a difference though, because I still love Ronaldo and think he's the greatest ever. You never liked Jorginho. There is a little difference there.
Okay.
Alex, thank you for coming on, my friend, and having your say. I appreciate it, bro. Man. Speak to you soon. Take care, my friend. I like it. It was a good debate. I like that. It was good. And by the way, people saying I got cooked. Nah, not for me. I don't feel.
I mean, you're little salmon. You know what I mean? Little salmon reds. You know what I'm saying?
What he did, he hung me over the boiling water to cook me. He hung there, and then by the end, he agreed with me that the manager's picking the wrong personnel, which is exactly what I'm saying. Right? He just believes that Ronaldo isn't. And listen, maybe I'm wrong in the sense of you can play Ronaldo in the middle, but you've got to have pace around him at the very least. If you play him with Bernardo Silva and João Felix, they don't have this. All that skill in the world doesn't matter if you can't run past someone. It just doesn't matter. Like it's as simple and as straightforward as that. Terry definitely got cooked. Yeah, listen, you guys can say I got cooked, but
one man said Terry definitely got steamed.
Not really. He didn't know how to debunk my point. It only works. Obviously, I get animated on purpose. Yep, you have to come on. This is what cooking me would be. You come up with a point that I can't respond to. Kathy Newman, the gotcha, that's getting cooked. That's it. If heated debate. Listen, by the way, Alex made some really good points. I get his logic. I just disagree with him. That's not being cooked. That's called a conversation.